Holy snikes, what just happened here?
Oh, look at behind us. This is like transformation station over here.
My little adventure.
Nice. I like it.
We got like full production here now.
Yeah, this is like taking it to the next level.
Well, I just don't know what camera to look at. I got like camera here, I got camera. You ever seen Wayne's World? Number 1, camera 2. Number 1, camera 2.
I look like you're blinking and I was looking at both.
Yeah, man. All right. So we are fully back at Labs, another episode.
Yep.
We're trying to do episode number 5.
Yes.
Number 5. You just witnessed a 2-part series right now, and I hope you guys liked it. That was fun for us to do. I had fun doing it.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah. All right, man. How was your week?
It was a crazy week. Crazy week. I had 4 days of baseball.
Dude, that doesn't sound like a bad plan at all.
No, but it was crazy as far as they're all brand new times. First week of weekday baseball.
Yeah.
And change in schedules.
Is it because of the rain?
The practice schedules changed because the first week of weekday games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Yeah, I got 1 loss and 1 win. So
Is that for the same team?
no.
Ooh.
Yeah. So my
So the team that won, is that the one that is the better team?
well, we got our first win under our belts, so that felt good. The kids were ecstatic. So yeah, they really needed the win. I kind of put it in some of our aces just to make sure we got that win.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people like to say, you know, we're playing baseball just to have fun, and then
because we coach, you don't know that sometimes, most of the time, I should say, the kids aren't. You can track the score inside the dugout.
100% they are. They always do, and they always ask, "Did we win after the game?" Even the little guys, they always ask, "Did we win? Did we win?"
No, we're not keeping score here, little Timmy.
Yeah, but we all know. We all know they want to know.
even the parents know. Even the parents like to keep score.
They're just like, hey, good win, huh? Oh, board members around. We're not supposed to talk about scores. Anyways, so 1 win, 1 loss.
1 win, 1 loss. Yep.
Now, did your players, your kids who are on the team, did they get any good hits, any plays? Like, let's go, Dad Lab Sports recap. Oh.
Yes. So I'm gonna recap. Little guy. They had a rough outing because being the first game of the week.
Oh yeah.
It was a 4:30 start or 4:45. I can't remember, one of the two. It was chaotic for us coaches. Because you know how the prep, if you're a coach, you're a volunteer, it's a lot of work. You gotta chalk the field. You gotta put the bases out. You gotta basically groom the field.
Then you gotta chalk the field too?
And it's everything.
Don't you guys have like a maintenance crew?
They're at the ready for what there's only like 1 or 2 of them.
What are the ready for?
We had 4 fields all ready to go,
Okay.
or had to be ready to go at the exact same time.
Okay, so what do the field maintenance guys do?
So normally, the main field that we play on Saturdays, they break the times up.
Okay.
But the way they did it this year, I don't know if it's different or not, to be honest with you, because before it was all about the little guys, and the little guys just had 1 game on Saturday. The little T-ballers. This one, they're moving up a notch, right? The 8U kids, and the weekday games are all at 4:30 or 4:45. I can't remember exactly which.
It's off right after school.
And they're on every field. So not only is everybody there, the parking gets tight. Now you've got 8 teams playing.
Parking sucks, bro.
Always. And it's always, it's public space. You got 8 teams going at it. So you've got, 12 kids per team, 8 teams times their parents and grandparents, all in one spot.
That sounds like a shit ton of people.
It's a ton of people. And they're all looking at you like, well, let's go. Because they're only looking at the managers for their respective teams. Like, why don't these managers have their stuff together? And that's a huge problem, because when you think about it, us managers are trying to help each other out to make everybody's life easier.
For the kids too.
For the kids too, and make everything go smooth. It was a production that I almost figured was going to happen, because it was the first weekday games. A lot of the managers didn't even know, because some of those managers that are volunteering, and if you've never been the first game of that Saturday and set something up. This is the first time they're even seeing how to chalk it.
They're like, what's this?
They're like, how do I make sure it's straight? Well, you got to get the line. Well, how many lines do we have? Oh, we only got 2. So where do I put the pin?
Right.
In
Is it in front of the plate or at the point?
And that's exactly.
But I mean,
things that
managers should know that.
But no, these are volunteers.
So I'm a volunteer too.
I know, but we volunteered multiple times.
So there's a difference between a manager who's coming in to volunteer compared to a manager who's coming in to teach people some real skills, a real development in baseball, right?
Yes.
So those guys should know how to take care of stuff like that.
Well, but let's
and so, but I'm saying now, say the volunteer guys. Here's my back on that. The volunteer guys,
okay.
If you're gonna come in and volunteer, learn all that stuff. Like I would go to my phone or whatever and look up like how to set up a field, how to write a lineup.
If it were me, I would. If I were ever to be on a board for one of these things, I know
A board.
I would literally say, all managers, it's mandatory that you show up for field maintenance day.
Oh yeah.
And this is the reason why.
Just to rake some leaves stuff?
No. Or the reason why is you have to learn, you have to know where everything goes.
So you're gonna train that day.
And field prep. Call it my OCD. I would have, the shed would have all the numbers, all the fields, everything would be like, hey, field maintenance day is not only this, it's to know where the field bases are, to know what the code combinations are, to know how to chalk the field, to know which lines. Hey, it's 40-foot bases, it's 50-foot bases, it's 70-foot bases. This is where you need. This is how many feet, and you have that posted somewhere because if they forget, they can walk into that shed and look and say, oh, okay.
Number 2 goes to number 2.
Number 2 goes to number 2, and number 2, you have to have a 48-foot pitcher's mound, and this one's got to be 50 feet, and this one, you know what I mean? Like, and where to mark it. Because all these are questions, and I'm telling you. So they cause chaos when it is, it's just like emergency preparedness. It's the same thing. You don't want somebody thinking in a pinch when they have 15 minutes before game time. They've already tried to warm up their team. And then, they're now having to rely on their assistant coach because they're the ones having to get everything together to make it a nice, where's the flagpole? Is it out there? Because I know there's one flag on that field. And if it's on subsequent fields, you have to.
It's Kid Carson, right?
Yeah. Subsequent fields, you have to look, and I've done it so many times. It's right in the middle of
all 3 fields,
but
right?
you have to turn the kids in a certain direction because when they all go out by home plate and they line up, they want to stare in the outfield.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm old school. The flag should be in the outfield.
I mean, I agree, but the way they have all the home plates,
So they put it right in
together, so
yeah, that's like over at our little league. It's right in the middle, which is cool. I mean, because when we faced up,
it's like you're facing the crowd.
So it's set.
That's why I like it. Yes, I agree. I like that setup.
All right. So you took an L, and then you got a dub.
Yeah.
And your kids get base hits or what?
So they got hits, but in the 8U league, it's really hard because a lot of it is you can't steal or lead off. So you're just pushing kids.
Lame.
You know what I mean? So you just keep pushing.
Okay.
So that's big.
Extra with your amp?
No. Well, sometimes you're like, go.
Be careful. Don't make that.
I can't tell you how many times this week I've said 2 outs, you're going on contact.
So you know that you're not allowed to touch players, right?
Then don't go on contact.
You're not allowed to touch players when you want them to go.
Oh no, that's interference.
Yeah, okay. I learned that the hard way. My daughter was playing softball and I was coaching, and it was a big game, and I pushed the kid. She wasn't paying attention at third, and I'm like, go, and she's anything, and I'm like, I didn't push her. I didn't be like, go, yeah. I was like, go, kid, go, and I kind of gave her a nudge. Umpire saw it, arm out to the right, and I said, what happened? And he was like, you can't touch the player, coach.
Yeah.
The runner's out. And I'm like, I'll tell you that's the first time and the last freaking time I ever learned a lesson like that. And ever since then, I'm like, don't touch. Get back. But.
Well, my thing is that, so let's talk about that. We're getting a player's attention.
Yeah.
In the field.
All right. So we're going to go there. We're going to get deep.
We're going to get deep into it. And
since we're going coaches, you wore your baseball shirt.
I did.
Thank God he didn't wear
American
freaking Padre crap.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're super
Dodge it out, baby. Let's go.
You're Dodger Blue who bought the 2025 season right now.
2-0.
Okay, so let's get deep into it. So this happened to me once, and I felt awful about it because it was in the playoffs. My son was at second base. There was a ground ball. This is 2 outs. You go on contact, right? You need runs, and I'm being the coach, right? I'm first base coach at this time. I don't know why I wasn't third base coach, but ground ball. Left
Such a first base coach was sleeping.
Oh, you know why? It's because the dugout was right behind me, so I could talk to the kids. That's what it was. So anyways, ground ball, he's just sitting there looking at it, just watching.
The good old
I yelled his name in my angry dad voice, and that was a no-no to me. Because he rounded third, came home, but he had tears because I used angry dad voice.
Yeah. You're a son of a bitch.
It's that, yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, I called his name and I was like, oh, you know, it's attention.
You know, that
voice always was in trouble.
That voice always gets the attention.
And that for me, I'm like, I just hung my head and I was like, I'm so sorry. He even crossed home plate and he had tears and I had to do the dad, take a knee, give him a hug. Like, hey, I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to get your attention because you're not paying attention.
I would have ignored him.
No,
I would have ignored. I would have. But when we're on the field, it's coach and player. No, emotions can get really high. That's obviously our topic today is about youth sports, and just hearing Tommy's week, we're segueing right into it, okay? Because a lot of our audience are sports dads, our parents, I should say, because we know a lot of them from sports.
Yep.
And like Tommy is a part of my baseball family. Like he'll always be my crew, and my brother. So it is very hard to draw a fine line when you're trying to teach a child some skills that they obviously want to come and learn. But at the same time, you don't want to be so tough on them to where they start crying. And then they just don't want to play anymore.
Yes, that's my, and honestly, that is, I tell my kids every game, I say, hey, have fun out there.
Right.
So usually the kids that I know are going to be nervous going up the plate, I usually tell them to relax.
Yeah.
It's a game. Have fun. That's why we're here, is to have fun and enjoy ourselves, not to get down on ourselves, not to get mad. And I had to shake our other coaches because we were doing. So our W that we got this week, we had a sizable lead. I think we were up by 8 runs at one point, and their team was getting mad. And as a coach, how do you handle the kid that strikes out, takes that bat, and slams it on the ground?
No.
So I gave him kudos. Blue calls timeout. He goes and talks to the kid and like, hey, I can't have you bringing really negative emotions on the field.
Right.
Because that makes it look bad. Because then I've been, and so my son last year was on another team as well. That was, they got down on themselves. They get down by 3 runs and instantly the karma just changes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're never going to pull out of this. Oh, we're down by 3. This is terrible.
I don't want to play anymore.
And that's the mentality. They start just regressing. And then it's error after error after that. Because now they're like, oh, well, I knew I wasn't going to get it, or we weren't going to win anyways, or you know what I mean? Like they come up with these excuses, and you're like, guys, this thing can turn around in an instant. One error can make an entire change.
Right. So I think, as a coach, that's got to be nipped in the butt in the beginning of the season, right? Like you're going to lose, you're going to win. How you win and how you lose determines the kind of ball player you're going to be. And then,
right? And not just baseball. It's anything.
And then I think a lot of it has to come with the dynamic at home. Like if we celebrate a win at home, it's happy. And how do we deal with a loss at home?
Yes.
And that could determine how a child takes a loss in a competition setting.
And that's what makes it very difficult for us coaches.
Right.
Because how do you relay that to other parents?
Right.
Because we can't control. Once they step off that field, we can't control how they're family handles loss. And that's what, those are the stories that you hear, right? Like, little Timmy got yelled at because he struck out twice. It's like, oh, well, honestly, it was a good pitcher.
Well, honestly,
No,
striking out is good. Like parents, let me see. Striking out is okay. It's allowed, man. Like we have to, and coaches too. Like we have to be like, yeah, it's a bummer. We're in a tight situation. Maybe the game's on the line or whatever it may be. Runner in scoring position, and a batter strikes out, especially if it's the one that's just started playing baseball or whatever sport. This can go with anything, and you gotta let them know. You gotta be able to take that L, man. When you strike out, go back to the dugout. And I always tell my players, like, if you mess up on the either on the field or in the batting box, make it up another way. Like,
get back on the
make a good play on the field.
I do the same.
Or you mess up on the field, get your butt in the box,
shake it off,
and give me a base hit.
Yeah, shake it off. That's one at bat. And I tell my kids a lot. I tell them this is the hardest sport. I even tell some parents. I actually had a kid was like, "Hey, coach, can you explain to my dad how to play baseball?" And I was like, that is one thing that just comes with time, because his family's like a soccer family. And I was like, honestly, this is the hardest, single-handedly the hardest sport that I have ever experienced. And I think, honestly, there's a lot of people out there. And if you're one of these people, it is so difficult to not only to understand, but the amount of rules that baseball has in play. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is
Unbelievable. And the fact that it's not just a team sport, it's an individual sport.
Yeah.
And it's not just an individual, it's a one-on-one.
Yeah.
So pitcher, batter. That's constantly. And I was like, you win and lose in every single pitch. You're either getting a strike in the pitcher one, or you're getting a hit and the batter one, or you're getting a ball and the batter one.
Yeah.
It could be that low, and then just, I shake my head because I'm like, you know what? Trying to explain a drop third strike to a parent. Like, what happened there? Because I had that in 2 instances on my game. What is a drop third strike? And thank goodness my assistant coaches are smart enough to recognize a drop third strike.
Yeah.
And it's like run, or tag him. Right. Pick up the ball and tag him.
Right.
Because it's difficult. Because a lot of the parents are like, why is little Timmy on first base when he ran? He struck out.
Well, you know what? Well, see, but then that's cool, because then now, like they're learning from the bleachers, right? And they're not yelling during a game.
Like, I've actually been very blessed
that you don't know much
with nothing going really on.
So then you don't have to yell out in the stands.
Yeah.
Because there is the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to all that type of stuff with baseball. There's a lot of the bad of getting the kid that doesn't know how to play and trying to teach him how to even throw a baseball, let alone try to catch something without getting dinked in the face.
Well, let's talk rec ball.
Rec ball. Ooh, everyone's favorite.
What comes with rec ball? All the goods and the bads.
I think what comes with rec ball is uncertainty.
I totally agree.
Uncertainty, because a lot of people try to so when it comes to drafting and stuff, or when they do these coaches, you can request a coach, right?
Yeah.
Those are all fun and games and stuff, and you can keep your same squad and really develop what you're working with. But then when it gets to drafting, you got to be lucky and you got to know the kids. And that's why you got to say hi to all the kids. You got to be at games and watch baseball. Like, if you're a fan, you'll know who the kids are. But there's still the uncertainty of like, all right, I'm past round 4, past round 5. I got like a 12-man team to fill up.
Yep.
I don't know that guy.
The last 5 kids is usually the most difficult.
And you score them during tryouts, but
it almost doesn't matter.
No.
Because even the kid that can hit and I mean, you got one of the aces that shows up and they miss all the pitches, or they're just off that day because they have to shine on one day, and they could be having the worst day. You never know. You just don't know.
Yeah. So uncertainty for sure on what you get. I mean, I remember one season, it was my older boy, his squad. It might have been a fall season, so not so competitive. I gave a kid a ball, and I was like, all right, let me see you throw the ball. And straight up, bro, grabbed the ball and tossed it underhand.
Yep.
And this kid was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, no, son. Let's show you. And so that type of stuff, you don't know what you're going to get.
Never know.
And, you know, and I've had a lot of the good too.
Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised. I have. And so how as a coach and as a parent, okay, so let's say I'm a parent that my kid just wants to play. He's 11 years old, and I brought him to tryouts, and here he is. And yeah,
He's never played before?
Never played before because he's trying different sports. And I'm all about multiple sports. You have to have different skills, because if you too early is 12 years old is when I think the kids should start saying, I like this
Or not?
or no. That, because for me, that's the biggest. I think, because that's when puberty kicks in. That's when you have, like, they're starting to develop. They can actually start lifting weights. They can start specializing in getting whatever sport.
Right.
You know, if they
Yeah.
need to jump higher,
And
that's when they should start making their. So how do you deal as a coach? How do you deal with the kids that are good, that you know are good,
Yeah.
and then mixing in those kids that have never played before?
I think it has to deal with, first of all, getting the kids to know each other and like each other. You know what I mean?
Like,
If the kid feels comfortable, and maybe he'll get more comfortable on the field or hitting. You know what I mean? He won't be so timid to want to be able to impress right away, or like, I got to get that big hit so that the whole crew likes me. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you can get them to hang out together outside of baseball, then they will be able to gain more confidence. And then maybe the older guys or the kids who know how to play can go, oh, well, you know what? Like, he's pretty cool. Let's give him a chance.
Yeah,
Right?
I've done that.
You hope.
I pulled a couple of my really good kids, and I said, look, you're in rec ball. This isn't travel. This is where you got kids that are above your skill level, at your skill level, and below your skill level.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, I need you guys to act as a team captain here.
Totally.
And I need you to tell them what to do, either in game or not in game. I need you to step up.
Is really what I've done. Personally, I've done with my players, and be like, hey, can you teach them how to play this position?
Yeah.
So I think as a coach, that's what I've done.
And then just be consistent. Be consistent with them. Always. And then talk to the parents, because if they could work with them a little bit at home as well, that would be key. But also to, like, getting right straight to the psyche of baseball, because if a kid could understand that it's just a game and not hold so much pressure on himself, I feel like the game comes a little easier to players. Like, I have a rule that I put in place when we're driving home post game.
Okay.
That if my kid has his hat on, that means he's okay to talk about baseball. But if he goes ahead and he takes his hat off and we're driving home, there's no baseball talk. But we talk about what we're doing this weekend. You know, hey, you know, we have a really cool whatever set up for next week, and kind of just talk about normal kid stuff. Then that goes a long way as well.
I like that. Oh, good. That's a good tip.
And you see it back here, by just Bible right there. You know, like it really does help to be in tune with what these kids are trying to do. It's like you said, it's a one-on-one sport. They're up to plate, and the crowd is there. Parents are there. Grandparents are there. Like, they have to, like, make them happy.
And it's funny, because going back into my memory as a kid, I was always nervous. I was always scared, kind of in the back of my head, like, this is nerve-wracking, because I'm going up and kids basically, this kid's throwing a ball.
Yeah.
Not at me, but basically throwing a ball.
Right.
You know, and,
Right.
and here I am trying to hit it.
Right.
All the pressure that goes along with that is,
Like, he's trying to throw it past me.
yeah, but I'm standing right next to it.
That's why coaches say, give that kid a stinker. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, yeah.
because it's like that much pressure one-on-one.
Yeah.
Me and the guy who's probably like 12, but he has a mustache, and now I'm afraid. You know what I mean? Like that movie. Like I am 12.
And that's why I really like the rec ball mentality. Whereas a lot of times my favorite thing is to see their classmates.
Yeah,
And you can see them talking.
yeah,
And it's funny because a lot of times I won't even know until you do the good game, you do the lineup.
yeah.
And then I'm like, then I see these kids that I saw in the dugout, he was scared. But now the game is over, the pressure's off, and now they're joking with each other.
Yeah, and that's cool.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wish I had known that going into it. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of that.
So I like that our league puts the school they're going to
Yeah.
on their draft sheet, because then I draft that way too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that guy goes to this school, the same school as my kid. Oh, let's put him.
Well, it makes it easier too for like pickups and drop offs and scheduling times.
So there's a lot of good community with rec ball. There's a lot of really good learning experiences.
Yeah.
Now the fun starts. You ready? Club ball, travel ball, travel baseball. Free coach reaching for the stars, reaching for grades,
Glory.
reaching for scholarships,
Oh,
right? Showcases. So
you can give me some.
my daughter did travel softball, and we went to a lot of showcases. Like,
Yeah.
you see all the coaches or the scouts with the college hats on there, and it's really stressful, right?
Yeah.
She did travel ball for a little bit. Now my son did my older son did a little bit of travel-ish, but he was in a section of life where he was like going, do I want to play baseball? This is kind of fun, and thinking, and then decided, hey, you know what? Nah, I'm good. Yeah, and that's fine. That's cool. You know, so travel baseball, I do like how close the kids can get.
I totally agree. But it's, to me, it's almost like a mini clique, if you will.
It's like, gang?
No, it's more the coach likes the team. He sees the potential in the team, which is good, but wants to keep them together.
So
Only for selfish reasons.
let's see. Yeah, I
I
do.
mean, I don't want to say, I don't want to come across selfish is the wrong probably word. It's more of, hey, we can get somewhere as a team.
Yeah,
And to me, it's like, when I played, there was really no travel ball.
right,
It was your rec ball had to be travel.
right.
So when I was 12, I played travel because at that level, there was only enough kids for one team.
Right. Right.
So you had to go from city to city to play. So you represented your town, your city, and you had to play
Yeah.
other cities.
It's kind of what we do at EALL with the older divisions. We have to play other cities.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I grew up. There was no club. There was no, there was clinics. There was, outfits that worked on your batting, worked on your pitching, worked on whatever you needed work on externally.
Mm-hmm.
But it was never like, I remember showing up to, I wanted to do a baseball or a batting clinic so bad, because my idol was Tony Gwynn. And I went down to Sereno Valley, and I think I did one session, and the guy was like, oh, there's really nothing to work on.
You suck.
As opposed,
Well, because that was the thing. It's like, it was during the off season,
Right.
when it was like, summer, or, it was something to do for the summer. And so they're like, yeah, we can sign you up for, I don't know, 8 sessions or something like that.
Right.
But as a player, I didn't get anything out of it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I had more success getting a bucket of tennis balls, just randomly throwing it up, working on my hand-eye coordination.
Right.
Better than I did trying to improve my swing.
But a lot of coaches nowadays, though, with travel ball,
Mm-hmm.
they got a lot more experience, and you're starting to meet more coaches who have played
some type of pro ball, college ball,
and
Well, JUCO or anything like that.
whatever. And to me, I feel like if I'm putting my kid into a travel club, and I'm not saying like instant gratification, like the dude's got to be hitting like dingers already, but there's got to be some type of progression that he makes.
So the
Development.
only reason I like travel ball, and this is probably the only thing that's gonna get me. I like travel ball because if that kid is excelling and not able to excel or see other capable kids, they need to be challenged.
Right.
And the problem with rec ball is it takes a lot of those kids, and I can attest to it. You're unfortunately you're taking the high kids and you're kind of bringing them down to take the low kids and bring them up.
Right.
So the kids that have never played are making this tremendous curve to get better.
Right.
Whereas the kids that are already good are kind of already plateaued.
Right.
It's not until you get to playoffs or all stars that you see them. All of a sudden, you're like, "Oh, I knew that kid was gonna, shine." And then, unfortunately, those kids that did really well, that are in it for the first time, you're like, "Where did this kid come from?" Oh, he's never played. He's just an all-around good athlete. And then they struggle in all stars.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to seeing the consistency.
Right. Right.
It's those travel ball kids that played in the off season that can handle it because they're reps. They have more reps.
Yes.
So
And that's where the development phase comes in.
I agree, but I'm a huge. I go by the book, so I go by USA Baseball coaching guidelines, certified and everything. Thank you. I basically, you shouldn't hold. I'm a big proponent though of I like the kids to play everywhere. I even this season did the same thing. If you want to play a position, you have to tell me now.
You have to give me $10.
I'm gonna write it down. I wrote all their positions down, and
I said, I will work you in at some point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I will totally work them in at some point.
Okay.
I will give them their shot, and then I will slowly work them in based on how well they did.
Right. Right. And that's fair. I mean, I like that too. Like if you can, that sets the competition, right? Like if you can play better than Jimmy at first base, let's go.
Yep.
You know, if
and I do that with the batting order too.
Right. And whoever's hot, boom, move to the top. Yeah, hot to the top, baby. You know, that's the way it goes. I like club and I like little league. They both have different nostalgias about them, right? Like I like little league for the community, for the outreach. You know, I love travel because of the togetherness, the family feel. Everybody knows everybody. People are like staying the night at each other's houses, or you know what I mean? Like going to dinners together, going to travel somewhere and getting a big old Airbnb together. You know what I mean? So all that stuff is super cool and fun. That's why I like travel ball. But I am seeing I have my little squirt. He's in a little development program now, and I really like it because I'm seeing the development in him.
Yep.
And so I am for and not against travel ball at all.
So for me, I have been in having 4 kids and being in that environment. I've seen, and you probably have too. For me, there's not much difference for an 8U kid and a 6U kid.
Right.
Now, granted, there are differences. Yes, there's kids that are going to excel, and there's also kids that aren't going to excel.
Right.
But also, I witnessed firsthand that one kid that just because he's 8, he is a really good hitter.
Yeah.
But he mentally is not there on the field. Listening is not there on the field. Fielding doesn't know where to be, right? There's so many nuances to that. Does that kid, just because he can hit nukes all day long, does that mean that he needs to be on a travel team? Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely no. Because honestly, he's the kid that can hit nukes at that time. right next to little Timmy is, little who knows what, right? We'll call him, Johnny. Little Johnny, who is just developmentally not there. His hand-eye coordination's not there. But when little Johnny gets 9 years old, I've seen little Johnny run circles around little Timmy.
Oh yeah.
Circles. And it's like a year or 2 year difference, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, he just spent the summer and watched MLB.
But not only
And he grew an extra inch.
yeah,
And all of a sudden it's like, boom, he's hitting nukes left.
it's like body development too. You know what I mean? Like
At that age, that's why I said when they age out of rec ball at 12,
right.
which is not necessarily aging out of rec ball, but the biggest thing is, let's be honest too, right? Little League as an organization, they kind of just pigeonhole to 12.
Yeah.
11U and 12U, and it's like it's the big show because all the parents are involved.
Everyone wants to go to the World Series.
Tons of money behind it. And it's like, honestly, when they're 12 years old, that's when their growth plates in their jaws, start mending, and then their bones are setting
Right.
at that point. And that's when, honestly, that's when a lot of times they can start working out. And then the gap just changes. And I've talked many a times to board members, and I said, hey, and I don't know how it is on Little League, but it's about like an 85, if not more, percentage drop in from that 12U,
Yeah.
14U.
Yeah. Because you would go from like
You're basically
57
teams,
like
elementary school, you're going into middle school.
so I kind of compare it like this, like division wise, like minor A is like you got like 6, 7, 8 teams, and then you get up to majors, you got like 4 teams. So and that's like 11, 12 years old, and then you get up to the 50, 70 where you're actually playing real baseball, leading off, box and everything. And then now you got like 1 team, maybe 2 teams. Like I know this year our Little League has only 2 of the 50-70 division, and 1 junior.
What age is your kid?
12, 13.
Okay, so that's
So basically what we're saying, like, hey, now it starts dropping off.
yes.
And a lot of the kids who play for those divisions, the higher divisions, I know most of them are playing travel ball.
Yeah.
So
So you guys have
multiple reps.
Yeah, no, I got you there. Whereas ours is 12U is that pony division, and that's straight away. We have, I think, 8 teams in that division, but then we go to 14U is the next step, and that 14U is the drop off.
Okay.
So basically, it almost sounds like 50-70 or majors is kind of the 12U mark.
Yeah, it's the shit or get out the pot.
It's it's do it or don't.
Yeah.
And that's the big gap. Whereas for me, it's like that's when the kids are going from elementary school. They're either right into middle school or going into middle school, and then you got a lot of other sports coming at them.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, by all means, try these other sports,
Right.
Because I think hand-eye coordination different. Like basketball is one, football is another. Where a lot of these kids have zero exposure.
Zero exposure
to football, flag football, whatever these external, and it's expensive.
Right. Oh no,
I mean, not just travel ball. It's direct ball. I mean, you're each parent is probably paying $250 for what, 2 months?
if
2.5 months, if that. That's a lot of money.
you can go play the Switch if you want.
Specifically on a sport. One sport.
Yeah. See, Dad Labs, we're live here. I got a little nugget coming in here asking, I need something else to do. This movie's over. So I love all of this information. Let's resonate in that, and also let's talk about some of the fun stuff I feel that sports parents bring to the level of like,
Gosh.
it's a whole new thing.
Good or bad?
Good. It's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's talk about fun, good stuff. Like I saw the other day on, I think it was TikTok or something. No, I don't have TikTok. It was Instagram. Anyways, so all these moms had these like cocoons over them, like tents, and they have like the little heater in there, and it's like,
oh yeah,
it looks like a little COVID tent. The music, bro, I'm so happy that Little League lets us play music.
yes, walkout songs. Okay.
The Stanley Cups. What's in your Stanley Cup? Stanley Cups, like the different cups that,
Yeah.
you know, the shirts, like the fans and the parents and the moms, they get so into it, and I just got to give them like props, you know, like
I'll give it. I do like the fanfare behind it. Yes, and well, that's why I always I prefer weekend games to Saturday games, because then the barbecue's going,
yeah,
snack bars flying, you know, that as opposed to on a weekday game, barbecue's not lit up, you know, there's not as many people. It's not like an event. It's more of show up, watch my kid, and get out of town, because the kid's got, you know,
yeah.
homework to do, a test tomorrow, a book report, something like that.
And he's grumpy right now. Bad.
And that's, as a coach, that's what's so difficult.
Yeah.
You show up and you're like, why is little Timmy off today?
Why is Jimmy being an asshole?
Well, it's just unbelievable
Yeah,
how we come up with so many different attitudes.
And I love the parents who are like, yell at him, coach. He needs it. Go for it. Go for it. I love that. I love that. These coaches, talk to your parents, man. Be in communication with them, and nothing makes a parent better when they can talk to their coach.
Yeah.
The person who's spending an hour and a half, 2 hours with your kid,
Yep.
and teaching them a lot of life skills, because there is life skills when it comes to this game, and I'll tell you that.
Big time.
Anything else we want to add to this? I mean, I hit the parents. The parents are fun. I don't see why the grill shouldn't be out every day, every game, but that's where you have volunteers. They're gonna say, "Hey, you want the grill out? Come cook, come cook." But yeah, man. I mean, Little League, travel ball, they have their ups and downs.
Have their up and
How
down.
about you guys leave a comment and let us know? Is your kid in a travel ball club? Or do they prefer just playing Little League and just having fun with their rec ball? You know, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think about this, Matt. Hey, I think we should do
What?
some rapid questions, baby. Rapid questions. All right, look at. I was even prepared. Somebody got a bunch of. I was like, yeah, I'm running out of questions to ask.
No way.
And then
You might run out of questions.
our producer here was like,
Never.
he's like, hey, do you know how to do AI stuff? I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't know how to do AI. And he was like, yeah, I got questions. So I printed them out.
Awesome.
All right, let's go.
Let's.
So this is for both of us, right?
Okay. Yep.
All right. This is huge. How do you set screen time boundaries for your kids? I personally, I let the kids do screen time if their homework's done, their chores are done, and if we're not having any type of dinner or anything, I'll give you screen time, but it's definitely cut off an hour before bedtime, because at bedtime, if you're trying to get them to get off the screen right at bedtime, it's total meltdown mode.
It's difficult.
It's like, but I was just about to conquer this world. I don't care.
World's over.
Get to bed.
Pulling the plug.
Go grab a butt. We go.
Mine's not so easy.
No.
Having 4 little hidden gems
Yeah.
all over the house is not easy. Because not only do you have to, they all have to be fair, right? How come little Timmy that gets his electronic, but I don't have my electronic?
Because you're a jerk.
It's one of those things where, to be honest, as a parent, I will sometimes if I'm up for the fight, I will do it.
Okay.
A lot of times, yes, it's like I'm trying to work with little Sally here on her homework, and all you're doing is coming in and distracting little Sally, right? My daughter gets distracted trying to do her homework, and it's like, she just needs peace and quiet. Just go to the other room.
So do you just go, okay, I need to work or help your sister? So, here you go, kid. Play on the iPad.
Well, yeah, I'll give you 15 minutes of screen time while my daughter has to work.
Okay, so
We do that because I've got a little guy who has no homework.
Okay.
And it's not that he doesn't have homework. It's just he needs one-on-one
Right.
homework. Going over special sounds, going over sight words, like yeah. So it's like I can't be like, okay, what's the fraction, 1/4 of this, and now say your sight word, it's not going to work.
So let's give me 15, 20
So
minutes.
I have to work them in little chunks.
So it's
I get them.
so you regulate best way, best fit to help the whole family out.
So what I try to do, Dad Lab tip, what I try to do is any reading that they must do is that hour, like we're talking about.
Okay.
So depending on, like last night, my daughter has a book report coming up next week. And it's like, you got to finish the book, girl.
Okay.
Like you can't do nothing if you don't read the book. So sure enough, she's like, I'm getting tired. And granted, it's the same thing as we have, right? Not only did she go to school all day, she's got extracurriculars. She had dance. Now she's back.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm tired. And I'm like, okay, I'll work you a deal. And then my little guy was like, the deal was, I'm going to read a couple pages and then she can read a couple pages.
Right.
And I'll read it out loud. And then my little guy, I'm like, hey, you can listen to the story too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's a,
You kind of got a condom, right?
I mean, yes,
You're
no.
like,
It's
hey,
Check it out, little Vinny.
what I'm gonna do right here real quick is I'm gonna read your sister's story. And what you do is you're gonna open up your ears. I want you to listen to.
yeah, and that's basically what I said. Is
Yeah.
hey, you get to listen to the story too.
Yeah.
And so it's nice because they're books now. They're little chapter books.
They're easy for Dad to read.
So I can plow through it with my voices and sounds and my narrations. I can play through it really well to keep the little guy's attention. Because that's really who I'm doing it for, is so he doesn't interrupt and he doesn't distract my daughter from listening to what she needs to do. And it's really funny because she will actually read out loud.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to go into her room and be like, look, can you read a little bit quieter to yourself? Because I can hear you from the other room.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love being able to hear her read because it's like, who's she talking to?
Yeah.
She can't be talking to herself. Oh, wait, she is. She's reading a book.
Hey,
I'll take it all day long.
can you make sure to log that, please,
Yes.
so you get credit?
Oh, 100. Oh, there's that. There's that piece too.
All right, here's another one.
Yeah.
How do you approach teaching your kids about money and financial responsibilities? I'll let you go first on this one.
That one's so difficult because I'm fighting a lot of times. I'm fighting the digital era that we're in, whereas the electronic is like, oh, can I have this upgrade pack for my shoot 'em up game?
Yeah.
It's only $2.99. Okay, $2.99. It will add up.
14 times.
14 times. But there's the caveat to that is, well, did you save up for it? Yeah, I do. I have like $50 worth of credits over here because of, grandma, and it's like, oh, okay, so they are banking it. And a lot of times I have noticed these kids, like the birthday parties that we go to,
Yeah.
oh, give them a Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
Give them a Target gift card.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's like, okay, now I'm having them keep track of the balance on their gift card.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, but it kind of makes sense. Like, buy the gift card. Well, it's what I like about that is it does teach them, like, hey, there's a limit. You have to replenish or not. But they're still too young. They don't understand. They're gonna blow it all in one shot. If it permits and they have the money, they're gonna blow it.
So I, with my boy, because like you're saying, like Roblox,
Yeah.
I need Roblox bucks or whatever. So I put Travis and my oldest boy, I put him in, he likes to umpire.
Yep.
So, and then he likes to, his grandfather gives him jobs to do and he earns money for it, right?
Yep.
My little guy will do the same thing. And then they save money. My boys are savers. But whenever my kid wants something, my oldest one, he won't ask for it unless he knows he has the cash to back it up.
Oh, that's
Because we showed him very early in life that like you don't need everything.
yeah.
And to get something with your money that you worked and earned, you did hard work for,
Yeah.
it's special. And you need to understand that like
like the worth of it. You know what I mean?
That's it. So I'm fighting that. So my son did something similar. He had all this cash after Christmas. That was his birthday is real close to Christmas.
Okay.
Okay. So he had all this money to spend before Christmas. So he went and bought an RC car.
Wow.
And it was not cheap. It was, I want to say $70.
Yeah, those are not cheap at all.
And I was like, and it broke
Oh yeah.
in the first week.
Oh yeah. Right of heart, baby.
I felt so bad. And I looked it up and it was, no offense, it was a cheap Chinese, plastic pieces.
Can't say Chinese.
They're watching. So I for Christmas, I ended up, buying it was also cheap as well. I ended up buying like reinforced metal parts for
Okay.
the thing. And I'm trying to say, hey, your purchase didn't go unnoticed,
Right.
but just nurture it, like you're saying. Nurture it, take care of it.
Right.
Because it got to the point where he was like, I can't do it. It should go in the trash.
Right.
And I'm like, no, you spent, $70 on this thing of your money that you got rightfully for you. You should be able to then nurture it and like take care of what you bought.
Right.
Make it better,
Right.
improve it, whatever.
Right.
Just keep it.
That's always a good lesson there too.
So
Yeah. So yeah, whenever he wants to buy something, our guy give us the money for it. But sometimes if it's like just a $5 thing, and we say yeah. But we have it set up on his computer and or his laptop or whatever it is he's using, to where if he wants it, he can't hit install
yeah, without it.
without getting a permission. So to take care of that. And Garrett doesn't really kind of understand yet the whole money and earn and stuff
My
yet.
guys, they're all about the
Yeah, yeah.
But then again, at that age, they're so self-centered, not in a bad way, but it is. It's like that's how we teach them, right? They grow up and their world just keeps expanding, and then they finally, at some point, hopefully,
Yeah,
you realize that it's not all about them.
right. But we'll do the same rules for our little guy that we do for the older one.
Yeah.
How do you make one-on-one time with each of your kids? So this is tough, man, because
Super tough.
everybody's busy, right?
Yeah.
They got one kid going here, another kid going there. Like today, me and Travis are going to youth group together. And I'm gonna help out, and Mom and Garrett are gonna be here. And like the weekend, it's just kind of we're all over the place, right? So what we like to do is definitely after school, we'll get a moment to like, hey, how was your day? Really have conversations about what they did at school, if there's any news or your friend or what happened. And we'll do the same thing for Travis as well. But we really try our hardest to have full dinners at the table.
We try.
It's hard. It's hard because sometimes one kid is gone until 6:30 or 7, so we're feeding the other one earlier.
Yes, we did that last night.
So we try to do that. We're very I'm trying to use the right word here. Very religious, right? So our church every Sunday is somewhere where we can spend some quality time together as well. So we like that. And then Sundays we usually try to keep, even though we do some baseball on Sunday right now, but we try to keep where it's like we're family time. We're going to go ride bikes. They have e-bikes now, so they like to go to Grandma and Grandpa's and ride e-bikes there because they have a big lot where they can kind of jam out, or go do something or try to do a little family dinner together somewhere. Just touch bases again.
We have little bouts of it. It's just very difficult for us because we have 4. See, you're lucky that you can divide and then conquer. We get divided and I can't divide again because if I play my cards right, the one-on-one time is almost nil.
Right.
So during pickup, I have to, and this is one thing that I don't know good, bad, or indifferent, but what's happening is that I tell them, I said, hey, look, there's some kids out there that only have, there's no siblings.
Right.
I said, you guys have to pick each other up. And guess what? You're going to listen to each other's issues. And that's the first thing I do when I pick them up. They're all in the car. How was your day? And then when they try to interrupt, no. It's their time.
Yeah, that's good.
They need to tell me how their day was. And then unfortunately, I've got little spies, oh, no, they didn't. They did this.
That's a lie.
But that's sibling, that'll happen.
Siblings a little.
I do have a couple instances where they have earned, like my one boy earned an hour of Chuck E. Cheese with mom and dad,
Oh, nice.
but I haven't cashed in on it yet.
Yeah, you're like, when am I gonna cash in on that? Yeah, like I promised my oldest boy, like, hey, you and I are gonna go on a sushi date. Yeah, go on a sushi day, and I'm like, oh crap! And you're just reminding me right now that I got to dial that in because I took the other one to McDonald's.
And my oldest wants to go to a bike. What is this bike pump track thing? So he wants me to take him there. So
you have a daughter. You do your daughter daddy dates.
I have a daddy-daughter dance that's coming up actually
That's not
this
the same.
weekend. It's not the same, but
That's mandated.
it's mandated, yes. But I'm pulling myself away from baseball games. So it's like, hey, I'm not going to be there for them. I'm going to be here for you. You know what I mean? So I have to show her that, hey, the game is a game.
Yeah,
And this is like daddy-daughter time.
yeah.
So
I'll tell you, bro, having a daughter, a 25-year-old now, dude, my dates with my daughter were fantastic. There's a buddy of mine, and if he's watching this, you know who you are, who takes his daughter out every Valentine's Day,
oh, that's cool.
and they've been doing it for decades, bro. I mean, I don't know. I think she's a high school kid now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's super cool. Like,
That's cool.
dads really need to be involved with their daughters like that. Like, that, especially when you have boys, because it's always boy stuff, and like the mom and daughter are always off by themselves doing mom and daughter things.
Yeah.
But if once in a while you stop and say, honey, I'm gonna take you on a little daddy-daughter day,
Yeah, I can see that.
then boom, dude, that stuff. Because then now they know like how to be treated by a male while they're having dinner together. Like that stuff's gonna play out when she gets
I don't
older.
Who you're talking to, but
I'm still trying to get him to sit down, not look at an electronic.
Well, but I'm talking about your daughter though. Like,
She's with your mouth. Yeah, don't. I'm talking about my daughter. Don't eat with your mouth. Stop punching. Stop kicking me under the table.
well, but see, but you gotta take her somewhere better.
She's got 3 boys.
Yeah, he's gonna take her somewhere where it's nice, where she has to dress up.
Well, I gotta get her out of the tomboy.
Yes,
aspect.
she'll be forced to have.
She can hold her up. Don't get me wrong. She can hold her.
And if you get mom involved, like, hey, I'm gonna take her out to dinner. Mom's gonna be like, oh, it's a special dinner. She'll kind of work her up too. Like, hey, gotta make sure it's gonna be a nice dinner, so make sure you're using your manners. You know, don't spit on the ground. All right, I got one more question. I like this one. And where did I lose it at? I lost it. It's right here. Okay, here we go. This is a good one.
Okay.
What's your favorite way to spend quality time? Now, this is marriage and relationship question, so it's going to go deep. What's your favorite way to spend quality time as a couple after the kids are asleep? He's like, we chug like bottles of wine so you can go to sleep the fastest.
No, we're usually exhausted. Actually, I have tried to work myself so I'm not as exhausted so I can get stuff done.
Okay.
But I fail at that a lot of times because I'm exhausted deep down inside. She does a lot of marathons. She's actually got one coming up this weekend too. So I try to, it's like, okay, give me your foot, I'll rub your foot. How was your day, kind of thing. But she just likes to zone out and be like, okay, can you just take me away? So that's kind of where and unfortunately the kids' extracurricular activities are at a point when we come home from a game or something. Like we came home Wednesday and it was like 9:45.
Oh yeah.
So she was out.
Oh yeah.
Poor thing was out. And she wasn't feeling well, so it was one of those that it's like, you know what, you need your sleep. So then I'll tell my boy, and I'm like, hey, you go in there quiet.
Yeah.
Like, you don't make a noise.
That's sleeping shut.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, I don't care. I'm talk to you tomorrow. That kind of thing. But yeah, we try to, and then our alone time when we can talk is first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
We got our coffee, news is on. It's like, okay, who's doing pickup, who's doing this, who's doing that.
Yeah.
That's where our schedules
Maybe, yeah. The morning and the evening are best spent with your spouse. We do as soon as the kids go to bed. We always try to make sure we clean up after dinner. So the next morning we wake up, we're like, oh, it's a reset button.
Yeah.
And then we sit and talk. Either talk about what's coming up, or the kids are sleeping already, or talk about what's coming up.
Yep.
Anything that we miss calendar wise, whatever it may be. And then we sit down and we watch a show. We get into our shows. She's taking a break from social media right now.
Oh,
So sometimes what we'll do, back in the days, we used to send each other, except for that. So we used to share each other, like, what are they called? Like memes or GIFs?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're called.
yeah, memes.
Funny things, right? Yeah, so we would send each other that and laugh, like, yeah, we're right next to each other. We're that couple. Or we'll watch a show or watch a movie.
Yeah.
And then normally my lady, like your lady, she works hard and she comes home and it's like we're watching something, and about 9:30, her and I start doing this on the chair.
The head bob.
Oh snap! And so it's usually then it's bedtime by then. I mean, but the morning times are good. Like even just like, hey, waking up in the morning and not even get out of bed and be like, hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? And then we start chit chatting in bed, and I'm like, that's really good quality time right there, because it's like the kids are still asleep and we're just like real like it's intimate in bed, you know what I mean? Like
Together.
Yeah. It's not external.
no, we're both vulnerable in our bed, and we have good conversations in the morning before the kids get up, and then we hear them and we're like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, you can't let that interruption.
Yeah, totally. Well, we got more here. We'll save these for next time.
Yes, let's do it.
I feel like today was a really good episode about sports, about travel ball and little league.
Yep.
All right, and the ups and downs about it. But yeah, man.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We're getting another episode coming your way. Dad Labs Podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Yep.
Subscribe, like,
Yes.
and please share. Me and Tommy, man, we're having a lot of fun doing this and bringing some topics to fellow dads and parents and moms. It'll help us out if you guys share our pages and get us out there, man. So bring more stuff. Yeah, lads, baby. We're out.
We're out.